Nokia is typically renowned as the Windows Phone provider, and Microsoft definitely shook things up by making the Windows Phone 8X by HTC the launch partner for its updated operating system. In light of Nokia's dwindling success, can HTC pick up the pieces to provide a more attractive package and push more Windows Phone devices into consumers' pockets? Let's check it out. On the design front, the 8X is a unique take of elements from HTC's arsenal and a defined style to separate it from its one series of Android devices. It's intimately proportioned to other smartphones, even with larger displays, and hosts a double bezel of Gorilla Glass 2 and case, which seemed unnecessary besides alluding to a much bigger display. Much like Nokia, the 8X comes in a host of vibrant colours, while eye-catching and certainly appealing for people who are sick of bland, predictable smartphones, acts to showcase the individual consumer's personality in and out of the OS and potentially sway open-minded punters. It is a heavily rounded unibody design with the same touch sensation on the back that I'd come to expect from HTC. It holds a greater thickness than the average smartphone, but with a significant smaller footprint than its main opposition in the Lumia 920, especially at only 130 grams. The edges taper quickly to a point that, while not being abrasively sharp, are unusual for a modern design and not exactly a perfect ergonomic choice. It holds a minimalistic, streamlined vibe that hides its elements well. The camera is sleekly lined in the casing with a glossy perimeter. The base of the device sees a gap in the design with the micro USB charging port. The right hand side holds the dedicated shutter button and the volume rocker, and at the top right hand features the unlock button and headphone jack. The issue with the sleek design is the trade-off in presence of its physical buttons, which I found cumbersome to use initially. Glaringly positioned on the front panel is the colourful speaker grille that embeds a charging light. I love the risky boldness of the 8X design and the conviction HTC has towards creating an experience to attach to the Windows Phone 8 operating system, rather than rehashing a tried and tested design. I've always found that the Windows Phone operating system to run fairly fluidly on seemingly lower specs, but this flagship device punches a dual-core 1.5 GHz CPU, 1 GB of RAM and an Adreno 225 GPU. These are comparable to a lot of early 2012 flagship Android smartphones, and while quad-core is the flavour of the month, the OS is optimised to run so well on these specs that its performance is flawless. Load times were very respectable and gaming ran fluidly and was aided by a very accurate touchscreen. I do think there is room for a quad-core processor in the 8X's next iteration. As the phone is sealed, storage is fixed to the 16 GB of internal memory and the user is reliant on the 1800 mAh battery. It performed very average in daily use and could handle a mere 4.5 hours of continuous video playback at maximum brightness. The 8X also packs the latest NFC and LTE technologies to keep up with the Joneses. Antenna quality was superb and was on par with the best around. I'm thrilled that HTC came through with a pixel-packed display which was distinctly lacking in old Windows phones. Sporting a 4.3-inch 720 by 1280 pixel Super LCD 2, the 8X has a higher resolution display than Nokia's offerings at 342 ppi. It has fantastic brightness and explosive colours that complements the high contrast nature of the OS. I find the Windows Phone 8 OS a very pleasing OS. It is extremely versatile for newcomers and with enough customization to please seasoned veterans. The lock screen offers a lesser customization with some displayable information and slides to enter the homepage, but is the only place you're going to get to display a background image. This bothers me throughout the whole OS, as while the homepage is tightly packed with vibrant live tiles, each is bordered with enough of a gap to warrant a customized background that can then take you through to the list of apps that, while acts as an easy to find alphabetical index, looks awfully bland and dated with only the option of black or white home backgrounds. With this latest evolution of the OS comes the ability of the new small live tile that greatly increases the number of application choices and personalization of the vertically orientated homepage. I love it. The live tiles flick through specific information to cross that bridge between the stagnant iOS homepage design and the beastly Android widgets. The size choices means I can tightly pack together correlated apps and give me the information I want rather than what I'm forced to have. The same issues arise that you are forced to color theme the OS, and if application choices do not define a specific color, they tend to meld together in a very bland pattern. I'm somewhat impartial about Windows Phone 8's reliance on text-based navigation and layout as opposed to the standard graphical layout of even PC applications. It is a steep learning curve and one that can be underwhelming on non-native applications that fail to best optimize the style for ease and seem like lesser renditions of their iOS and Android counterparts. But the brilliant thing about getting a Windows Phone is the tight integration of Microsoft services like email clients, Microsoft Office, Office 365, and importantly, SkyDrive for cloud-based sharing, storage, and backup. All aspects are understated and sell this platform like nothing its competitors offer. If you're a Windows PC user, you will always benefit from this integration. This is emphasized by inputting all personal account details into the device that embeds and intrinsically integrates and associates social feeds into so many aspects of the phone without even trying. Kids Corner is also a great new addition where you can set up a separate account accessed from the lock screen that you tailor specific apps, games and functions that your children can access from the phone without tampering with any of the full features you yourself have set up. The killer for HTC, unfortunately, is the lack of its own applications that are unique to the device. Nokia offers an extremely compelling argument here. For the OS, the failure is in not fleshing out the App Store. I failed to find many of my favourite apps, and basic ones at that. Gaming was definitely lacking with none of the games I like to play and very few high-res games that take full advantage of the amazing resolution and even more that didn't fill out the entire display. Worse for me was that Windows Phone 8 at this stage does not have the same level of notification ability as its competitors. I miss this very much and hope to see some improved scope in this regard to come through soon. Video playback is visually stunning on the HTC 8X. The screen quality makes for a fantastic media companion. So does Beats Audio, but on the headphone scene you do only get a standard pair of HTC headphones. For me, the selling point in no way can be the camera. It is perfectly adequate 8 megapixel camera that offers average photos that are in no way flawed massively, but neither do they stand the phone apart. The front-facing 2.1 megapixel camera has a massive viewing angle, which is great for group shots, but the key feature is actually the web browser. It benchmarks extremely well, pretty much faster than I've come across on JavaScript tests. It is a simple interface, and thanks to a very accurate touchscreen, typing was perfect. I think people were looking for a breakaway experience with Windows Phone 8. It certainly hasn't been delivered, but it rectifies significant shortcomings that now position it back with current mobile OS competitors. The HTC 8X comes with a bold design that is unique and intriguing and one that people will adopt fondly. It delivers solid specs that showcase how a mobile OS should run, but Windows Phone is still in its infancy in some ways, awaiting mass adoption. For a top-tier experience, it's a cheaper option than most, especially with built-in productivity tools. As a mobile device, it offers excellent current tech, exceptional data quality, and a fluid user experience. It fits snugly between iOS and Android in the makeup of its design and has a long way to go before it truly stands on its own. But it's nearer than you probably think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been Kurt from Kaboo Tech. Thanks for watching.